Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now October 17th of 2025, and ever since the assassination of Charlie Kirk on September 10th, there is no doubt about it that we have witnessed a wide range of celebrities, not just in Hollywood, but also within the film industry, within the music industry across the board, even those over in the media, and even those in social media, saying some of the most downright terrible things about Charlie Kirk by either attacking him, mocking him, or even lying about him, by politicizing the entire thing that happened weeks ago. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, we've had a lot of actors stepping forward to say some of the most ridiculous things out there about Charlie Kirk. I mean, we have seen what Robert De Niro had to deliver, and others out there like George Clooney, Stephen King, Mark Hamill, and so many others out there that just do nothing but use this as an opportunity to push their anti-Trump messaging. And the latest has a lot to do with Julia Roberts, who, by the way, is no better than George Clooney. If anything, she's worse, based on what she did during the 2024 election campaign. We all saw what she did with the commercials there, by getting involved with the whole Kamala Harris thing and really making commercials and promoting the fact that you should lie to your husband or wife based on who you voted for. That was a really ridiculous ad campaign, and it all backfired on her career as well, as much as George Clooney's did, by the way. What's interesting, though, about all of this is, of course, how this is all happening in the midst of her promoting her latest film, and this is really beginning to backfire yet again. Now, with the assassination of Charlie Kirk still causing many of those in Hollywood to step forward and say some of the worst things yet about Charlie and his supporters, one major development going on now involves actress Julia Roberts, who touched on the subject while promoting her latest film, After the Hunt. Julia Roberts recently delivered the following. Like, wow, I mean, just looking back at what happened last month, we have seen such a change in our country when it comes to its people, and how terribly they are acting out right now, to go as far to blame the left and liberals or progressives, and it's really all connected to Trump's plan, with his supporters, I feel. When this young man, Charlie Kirk, lost his life, our country changed, and not for the better. Those that are right-leaning have become more hateful and judgmental toward those on the left. We have seen them embrace cancel culture and silencing our great talent in both film and music, and it's a sickening disease to support something like that. People don't know what to stand for and what's right anymore. That's just gone and no longer present. And I have tried to stay silent about this administration for the past 9 months plus, but enough is enough, because since September 10th, when Charlie lost his life, Mr. Trump and his supporters, and just all of MAGA, have been so busy using this as an opportunity to make themselves appear better by blaming the liberals. This is why Trump is a menace to our country, and I don't mean to say that to divide. It's just complete fact. The reason why we are so divided are due to those that are so hard right-leaning that they have lost their way of thinking and understanding how the real world works. I never supported Charlie Kirk's views and never will. I always thought that they were absolutely destructive to our country, but he didn't deserve what happened to him. It doesn't make it any better, though, when you have his wife, Erika Kirk, standing up there with President Trump and making a mockery of herself by associating herself with this presidency. Now, guys, let me stop right there when it comes down to Julia Roberts. Now, look, this is exactly, this exactly comes to a point where, Julia Roberts has lost her mind to the point where not only does she have to drag Charlie Kirk into her anti-Trump messaging, she also has to drag Erika Kirk into her anti-Trump messaging campaign, essentially. And this is all happening right dead smack in the middle of her press tour for her actual new movie that's coming out right now, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not her movie will actually be a box office success or if it will be a box office failure. Now, she goes on to continue, it's maddening to see something like that happen, she says. This is a man that is so obviously afraid of hard-working women that don't just ask for handouts, but to become a political figure. And I think that's what you are seeing right now with Erika Kirk, sadly. But all of MAGA, I just think they are really over their head with hopping on the bandwagon of Charlie Kirk's passing. It obviously had turned into a political talking point so that they can win the midterms, because let's face it, they aren't looking too good right now for next year, and I think Trump fears all of his policies will fade away into the wind once we take away both the House and the Senate. Now, again, this is a very interesting point, guys. Let me just stop there about what Julia is saying. Now, a lot of these celebrities keep going on the constant trope about the midterms and 2026 and taking away the Trump policies, etc., etc. They keep dragging that into their anti-Trump messaging campaign. And I think that this is exactly why you're starting to hear more and more of these actors and actresses speak up and using Charlie Kirk's, assassination as a way to push that anti-Trump messaging, is that we are inching closer toward the 1 year point before the midterms. Now, interestingly enough, yet again, we know that Julia Roberts, right? She is desperate to get her career back on track, and we all know that it's going to basically be a trap of a movie, alright? This movie just doesn't really seem to be going anywhere substantial. I don't think it's going to be anything legendary or classic or anything like that. It's going to be stuck in a specific financial situation. We'll talk more about that down the road. But we know one thing about all of this is that Julia Roberts, alright, as of late, she really does have a lot of issues when it comes to dragging politics into her own career. And she goes on to conclude, because our sitting president went so low to a point of using a man's death to advance his political legacy. And that to me is just so un-American as you can get. And nobody wants someone like that as a president. So, look, we hear a lot of actors saying things like this, that Trump is using Charlie Kirk's death, his assassination, to improve his political legacy. I don't see that at all. I just see that there are people out there that are supporting his friends, his loved ones, his family, his wife, Erika Kirk, and just being normal human beings that are showing empathy. That's all I think is what's really going on right now. Whether you're on the right, the left, or dead smack in the middle, I don't think anyone's using this as a way to actually score, a political status per se. Not in the majority, at least. Sure, you're going to have a minority of people out there that are going to use that as an opportunity, but it's really not the majority of what's going on. Most people have shown a lot of empathy about what happened. They are lending their support, genuinely speaking, to his friends, to his family, to Erika Kirk, and you did see that with the Trump presidency in different ways. Now, we know there's a lot of things going on right now when it comes down to a lot of the actors and actresses representing Hollywood, is that it is tainting a lot of the studios out there, a lot of streaming platforms out there. This is exactly why that a lot of studios don't want to hire specific actors like Julia Roberts, George Clooney, Robert De Niro, Mark Hamill, for example. The list just keeps going on and on. It's like a mountain of celebrities that just keep spewing nonsense. And about spewing, alright, The View, alright, starring the hosts Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Whoopi Goldberg, they really are at the top of the list of the most vile individuals on television and those that are a part of the entire industry. So what's interesting about this yet again, look, we know that Julia Roberts has been trying to really just steer clear from all of, the political shenanigans, but she couldn't help herself, I guess it seems. I would like to hear what everyone has to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.